Don't you love it?
Yeah, I do.
That's so cool. And it's Mackenzie. Matthew and Mackenzie. So we are doing this as a beer drinking one. We can do it. Cheers. It's what is today? A Thursday? And you got an examination tomorrow. You gotta be at school. You're at school.
It's not. It's online COVID times. Piece of piss.
That's fun. How fun is that? Now we're gonna do a new concept on this channel. In the past, I said we're gonna be doing this, and then we do it, and then we're not gonna do that anymore. We're gonna just do a haircut. We're not gonna show you what we're gonna do before we do the haircut. We're just gonna do a haircut. For the, the reason why that is because I'll show a picture because that's the inspiring of the direction we're gonna go, and then we do an interpretation of that. Then people leave comments like, "That looked nothing like the picture." But this channel was never about matching a picture, because the only person that looks like that picture is the person in that picture, right? Now, whenever people bring a picture to the hairdresser, for example, the best example is the Princess Diana haircut. It's like, I want.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, no one looks like only one person looks like Princess Diana. It's Princess Diana.
Yeah.
So one thing we're not going to do in this channel, well, I'm not saying forever and ever, but for a little while, we're not going to show the picture of what we're going to do before we do it. So that's going to be something new for a little while. Actually, I think it makes it a little more exciting for the channel. It's like, look, there's a haircut. And also, YouTube's got a scroller. You just scroll ahead and see the results anyway. Scroll ahead. I mean, come on. They got to show a picture. Like, we're going to do this. There's a little scroller to me. And so we're like, maybe should you edit your videos down a little bit? No, there's a scroller. Edit it yourself. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to do a haircut. Normally your haircuts are bobs with bangs.
Yeah.
But as heavy as possible. Like you go right up to there with your
French. That's what I asked for, but they always cut it
French
lower.
bob, and they do it wrong. Now I've never cut your hair before, and when I met you, like normally I do this haircut. I'm like, but that's the haircut I love the most. And then you said, well, they never do it properly. I'm like, but we determined that's not what you want for today. So that's the haircut I would love to give you. So we're not going to say what haircut we're going to do. We're just going to say what haircut we're not going to do, which is, I mean, God, that's your hair is meant for that. Like big, heavy bob with the fringe, and oh my God, that's like, I'd ask you to prom. You showed high school with a haircut like that? Well, we're not in high school anymore, but the whole point of the retro channel is like going back on those days. I'm just because we're getting back into things after the lockdown, so I'm forgetting things. No, we're doing this. But what we do, actually, the best way of doing this is you pick this first. And then you push your hair over out of the way. And then you add the strip. If your hair was longer, it'd be easier. This is what they do in the barbers. You've never been to a barber shop?
No.
No, because it's a barber chair and the KP and whatnot. So it's all part of the aesthetics of the look of the channel. Now I got this barber chair from, the Godfather Barbers off Cuba Street.
I think so, yeah.
The owner there, he restores them, and he said, "Do you want one of my chairs?" I'm like, "Yeah." This one's too tall for most people to work with. I'm tall, but I bought it. It was a good price, and I was like, sure, I'll put in the corner for fun. And then what happened was I did a bob with this. I decided, let's try a haircut with it. I put it here to do a haircut with it. It hasn't moved since. And I do, like, not all my customers in it. It just depends on what we're doing. But the girls who I put in this chair love it because they've never had that experience before. My God, your hair is heavy.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to redo this whole thing from the beginning. Edit some of this out. Oh, I got it. It's not that it's heavy, it's that it's heavy and it's at that length that you just...
Yeah, so hairdressers just go, I'm going to take all of the weight out of it and
Yeah.
layer it. And I've always hated that, but now I actually want it.
Yeah, for
layered
today.
and funky.
Layered
Yeah.
and funky. Yeah, cool.
But it's because they would just layer it to sit like it was flat or straight, as
Yeah.
opposed to layer it to give it shape.
Yeah, cool. Come on over, let's wash your hair.
Yay!
Come on over.
Ooh. Sorry.
No worries. Come grab a seat. The length on your fringe is good. We won't change that today
Okay.
because you want different than what you've had. That little haircut's perfect, but we want to do something different today than what you had. But I will talk you through it.
Spoil the surprise for viewers.
Well, it's good to work on it with, work through it
True.
with the customer in the chair anyway. And then, yeah, here's it. There you go. We're going to lose a little thing because that's just there for aesthetics, but to be honest, I wash all the capes between customers because I'm not a barber, so it's not like I'm using the cape all day long on different people. That's why it's there. But I put it on because of, it's, part of the experience. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave your fringe where it is, we're going to frame, and we're going to leave the length where it is. So it's not a major change. Do you want a major change?
I just want a layered cut.
Yeah, then that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Cool. Just checking before I cut it. Because like I said to you earlier, once we're halfway through and you're like, we should have done this, and I'm like, well, we've already done this. So we just want to make sure we get the right thing before we start. But this will be a cool haircut because this is going to be like late 70s retro vibing.
Yes.
So we're going to, even though we haven't seen a picture of it before, we're going in the late 70s retro vibing. And the doors are open because it's spring now.
Yeah, it's actually warm.
Yep.
The last couple nights have been warm.
And it's what? 9 o'clock at night now and the door's open?
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer cold at night. But Wellington is always the same temperature at 2 in the afternoon or 2 a.m. The temperature doesn't change. In the summer, in the winter a little bit different, but this summer, it's like, it's like 18 degrees.
Yeah, it
At
doesn't
2
actually get
p.m.
hot in the day.
No, it doesn't. And in the middle of the night, it's like sometimes I feel colder at 2 in the afternoon, and then it's like 2 in the morning, and I'm up on Cuba Street, and I feel hotter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a Wellington thing.
Yeah, last night my flatmate opened I was actually sewing at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And she opened the door and she was like, I can't get to sleep, it's too hot. But
Yeah.
we weren't hot in the middle of the day, like we were wearing hoodies.
Yeah.
But she was in her underwear,
Yep.
couldn't get to sleep.
Yeah, I find that's one of the things about Wellington. It's like Courtney Place, 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's hot. But then it was like, well, it's here 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was like windy and blowing and crap.
Yeah.
But it's like wind's calm, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, the temperature hasn't changed.
Winter's definitely a different story. It's definitely
Oh yeah, winter's a different story,
it's
but summer
definitely
here.
-4.
It's the same temperature 24 hours a day in the middle of summer here. But when you're in direct sunlight, of course the sun's baking you.
Yeah.
But when you're in the shade at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or walk around all the 2 o'clock in the morning, it's the same temperature.
New Zealand in general, if you're in direct sunlight, you get sunburnt in 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, of course. Just don't,
And
you
you
just
get
don't want to
sunstroke.
bake in the,
Yeah.
no, because no,
Even if it's not hot.
yeah. You get the worst sunburns in New Zealand anywhere in the world. Yeah.
Is it dry in Nova Scotia?
No, Nova Scotia's North Atlantic, so it's moisture. And it's crappy weather like here.
Did you hear about, is it Lytton, the town that burnt down?
Was that the one in Quebec?
No, it's in BC.
Oh, in BC, that's the other town. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did hear about that. Yeah, because your connection to Canada is British Columbia.
Yeah, so it's totally just fire season for 3 months of the year.
Crap. That was a bad thing.
There was a TikTok trend where people were giving themselves mullets. Did you hear about it?
Yeah, no, that's how this channel began, because coming out of the first lockdown, the mullets were like, and then it was like, well, let's do retro haircuts, and if people are going to do mullets, let's explore other things.
Yeah.
That's how this channel began. It was like, let's not do mullets, let's just do other things, right? And the point of this channel was not to become like viral or world famous or anything like that. It's like, let's just do something for fun on the side and get a very small niche of people that think this is great.
Yeah.
And then for those who, like, you do get the comments, like, people do say whatever they want to say about it, and it's like, you could leave a comment you want, or you could just change the channel.
Yeah.
It's just not for you, it's not for you. Now, as a hairdresser, the way my brain works is like, okay, this is Wellington, right?
Yeah.
350,000 people live in Wellington. I can't do hair for 350,000 people. I can do hair for under 1,000 people. So that's a fraction of the market. So there's a lot of the people in this market whose hair I won't be doing, and there's a lot of people in this market that just won't like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that's cool, because there's a lot to go around. So I never want to be anything, I just want to be who I am and content with everything about that. And for some, like a hairdresser is a commodity, just like a Ford or a Toyota or a Volkswagen. And you look at a car driving on the street, like you look at cars, how often do you see the same car twice? Right? Not often, right?
Like this exact same car.
Yeah, the exact same car, the color, no, like you could go a whole day and not see the same car twice, right? Same with hair. Someone likes this, and this, and who knows why, and then same with hair. Like they like this salon, but they like this salon more than this salon. But in this salon, they like this hairdresser more than this hairdresser.
Yeah.
And whatever it is, and this is fine. We're gonna, as a hairdresser, we're just gonna accommodate. We're gonna accommodate, right? Now, someone will say, "Oh, well, I don't like this salon, but I like this salon. But that hairdresser in that salon, oh no, that's the worst hairdresser ever. But this other hairdresser in that salon, yeah, it's just." I like this Ford, but I don't like the Toyota and the dealership. You want to go to that dealership and not that. It's just the way brains work.
Well, it's totally solved my problem.
What's that?
Just not knowing where to get my hair cut.
Oh, now you know where to get your haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were saying that earlier. Like you never had a place where you go for a haircut. You just, but also because you move around the world and stuff too. Like you've been New Zealand, Canada, so that's part of it.
All of my family said to go to that one in the mall though.
Which one of them? Oh, the one in...
It's just a mall salon, and there's like 7 of them on at a time.
Was it in Canada or here?
In Canada.
Oh yeah, Canada.
And I was like, oh, where do I get my hair cut around here? And they were all just like, honestly, just go to the mall. It's like $50 and never fails.
Yeah.
And it was the fastest haircut I've ever had. And she even did it dry.
Yeah.
And it was just perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about that one. That makes sense to me, though. I know exactly the type of place you went to, because I know what Canada's industry is like too. Well, I know what Canada's industry is like more than I know New Zealand, even though I've been living here for the past 10 years.
But you could tell that she was just a like super mega professional. Like she knew exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
But she just did it in 35 minutes and sent me on my way.
Yeah. He's walking home.
I guess you're right next to all of the halls here.
Well, that guy was 60. He's just being sassy. He goes, whatever. His wife said something. He's like, whatever. And I look over there. He's like stumbling up the street, and she's like 2 paces behind him, and she's like, no, that's not kids and all. That's That's,
You're gonna.
do you know what I call it? I call it bloody culture. You know the old school Kiwis that say bloody? They start sentences with bloody.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody. I'm like, oh, you lost me at bloody. Whatever you have to say that word, I'm not interested. Anyone who starts a sentence with bloody, you've lost me at bloody. He was one of those type of guys.
You're gonna lose your neighbours soon.
Hey?
The kids in the hall.
The kids in the hall? Why?
Because it's gonna be the end of the year.
Oh no, I know. That's every year. There's always
Yeah, they
cycles.
come back.
I know. It's always cycles. There's always a new first year and a new first year. And new first year.
Move-in day must be funny to observe.
Oh, it is funny. And then when it's the beginning of the school year.
A week.
Yeah. Well, when it was the beginning of the school year, this year, we did pre-mullet day.
Oh, I
for a
saw
whole week.
that.
You saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
So we did pre-mullet day, and they just come in and they just sat down, and we didn't film it. We didn't even barely take pictures. We just did it for a laugh. It's like free mullets. There was a line about the door
I bet.
of all 18-year-old, and mostly girls and guys wanting mullets. And that was before I started the channel.
Did you get any clients out of it, or are they all too cool?
Oh no, yeah, no, we got clients out of it.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it was good. And then it was that's part of the beginning of the channel. Like, well, if people are gonna line up outside my door to get a friggin' mullet, we should film this. But if we're gonna be filming, let's do beyond mullets. Like, let's do bowls and wedge haircuts, and let's do coiffing, and let's go way outside the box. Like, if people are gonna be bold enough to do a mullet, let's recreate perms. We did perm week.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I'd give you a perm at some point.
Oh, I don't know. I've never touched my hair, actually. I've never dyed it or...
No, your hair's all natural. I know. We talked about that earlier because I said, oh, you don't even color your strands that are coming in. Leave your hair, because your color's an amazing color. And the thickness of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with the grey.
Yeah.
I'm still picking them out at the moment.
We were saying this before the camera rolled, is because you're Celtic, so you got the Celtic gene, which means you got those few Celtic strands that come in prematurely, because you're only 18 years old. But that's a Celtic thing. But anyhow, I would just rock it. Just be you. Just be your best you.
Are there any at the back? Oh, I have a...
I'm not seeing any. It's because you see them. Because you gravitate straight for them. I've been hanging out with you for the past hour now. I haven't not picked up on any of them. You're the one who's picking up on it. You got radar.
I have a growth on the back of my head.
Yeah, no, it's that's a common thing too.
It's chill.
Yeah, it's benign, and if you ever wanted to get rid of it, I think the last time I checked in Canada, the quote was $500, and that was over 10 years ago. It's probably more now because it's benign. You have to pay out of your pocket.
Because it's not going to kill me.
No, it's not going to kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's a common thing. And what they do is they freeze it and they break it, and they freeze it a second time because it's a growth.
Yeah.
Some comes back, boom, and they do it a third time, pick. By the time it's a pick. So last time I got a quota, because I have one here, and it went away on its own. Do you know why? Because I started shaking my head. So if you started shaking your head, it would probably just go away on its own.
Because I'm not shaving my head, I don't care that it's...
No, you've got thick hair.
Yeah.
And when you have thick hair and longer hair, it doesn't get enough oxygen to the scalp, which gives it the conditions to really grow. The moment you shave it means more oxygen, more sun, more exposure. The more you're touching it every time you do, it just breaks on its own, right?
Interesting.
So that's what happened to mine. Because mine was absolutely the same as yours until I started shaving my head. And that's what the guy who gave me the quote, he said, it's $500, but also it was just, if you started to have short haircuts, it would just go on its own. And he was right. I'll save the $500. Maybe you start with short hairs one day, you know. But I would let the hair cover over that a little bit, so it's not really noticeable, but it just starts to go away. The more it's exposed to the elements.
Fascinating.
Yeah, well, it's on way exposed to the elements. I didn't go super short right away. Eventually, I'm like, now I hate having hair.
Well, you'll catch me eventually. When I decide that I absolutely hate having hair,
Yeah.
then you can do your thing.
Well, we're gonna if you're gonna do like go for crazy short haircuts, we'll give you that little flat top haircut, and we'll land a drone on top of it. As I call it, the haircut you can land a helicopter on.
Right.
But now they have drones, which is short sides and back, flat top, and then I'm good with a drone. And for the final shot of the video, I'll land a drone on top of it because it's like a helicopter pad on top of your head. Now, You're a long way off from that. But I could see that. Yeah, I could see you going down that experimental.
Oh, what I was going to say about the TikTok mullet is that my flatmate asked me to do it for her.
Did you cut it?
I did cut it for her.
Was it good?
She has really curly hair. I don't know the grade, but she has like super thick.
So it's forgiving.
Red curly hair. So exactly, that's why I said I would do it, because it was very forgiving. And then she just grew it out so that the top layer was like chin. And then I came into the bathroom and she just gone, and she was like, Mackenzie, can you come cut the back of my hair?
Yeah.
And so we gave her a bob. It actually looks fantastic, like completely straight, just because her hair is wire.
Yep.
But no, I didn't give myself a TikTok mullet.
No, but you're not conventional. You play by your own set of rules. It's like, oh, everyone's doing a mullet now. I so would have done a mullet when everyone wasn't doing a mullet.
I'm really bad because I am always like that. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do that because everyone else is doing that.
Yeah.
But then I decide it's cool like 2 years after. I'm like, you know what? That was really cool. Kind of like me getting a layered cut right now.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I was
also
like staunch in my French girl bob.
Oh, I know. You were doing a French bob when everyone else was doing mullets. That's really cool. French bobs were so well when you
I do it with heaps of things like clothes as well.
Yeah.
When everyone started wearing wide leg pants, I was like, oh, everyone's wearing wide leg pants. And then like 2 years after, I decided that it was my entire aesthetic.
Yeah.
I eventually admit defeat.
Yeah. I can hear the pigeons out there. Now the doors are open for the spring. We go to spring and the rest of the world goes to winter.
Yeah.
We go to COVID and the rest of the world is not. Which was like, everything's delayed in this country, but I always made that joke. Everybody
jokes about, like, North Americans always talk about how weird it must be having Christmas in summer, but it's honestly so much better.
No, it is.
Do you think it's better?
Yeah. I have a 25th of December, I go to the beach.
Canadian
I go swimming in the ocean.
Canadian winter's a little bit miserable. Like, it's
I always said that too.
Cold.
Yeah, no, it was always...
And snow's only good for the first day.
It's the start of winter. December would just start to trigger my anxiety. It's like it's winter, and I got to work,
your tires
the snow tires, the snow tires. Yeah, it just triggers anxiety. It's like, oh, but Christmas is wonderful. And also, I'm a hairdresser. And when you work in retail in Canada, it's Christmas overload starting the 1st of November. They take the Halloween costumes down, and then they throw up all the Christmas. The Canada's the worst.
Yeah,
Canada is Halloween costumes down, and Halloween decorations down. And 1st of November, I don't know how they do it so quickly. Boom! Christmas carols and the decorations, and then like I gotta get to work and do the hair salon. Like it's already 1st of November, and you're like, oh my god, my mental health. I'm gonna and I used to say, at least do it after Remembrance Day. Like don't do it Easter. Like
it's like the 11th.
Halloween's done. Christmas. No, the 11th of November is Remembrance Day. At least do it after that. Especially because, I mean, I was working in Toronto and I have clients who had their son in Afghanistan fighting a war. And they're coming for a haircut and it's like 7th of November and we're surrounded by Christmas already. And I'm like, whoa, the November, like Remembrance Day coming up. I'm like, yeah, that's actually really disrespectful. Yeah, and I felt that at the time. At least, I would say start your Christmas decorations if you want to go early. No, like 15th of November, around there.
Yeah.
Like the Macy's Parade in New York City is Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving.
Right.
That's when you should start it.
Yeah.
But Canada, in the USA, they started after Thanksgiving. Canada starts it the day after Halloween, and oh my god.
Yeah.
It should be a Canadian rule. Don't start your Christmas until after Remembrance Day.
The annoying thing about New Zealand is that because we don't focus much on Halloween, Christmas often starts in October. Like farmers will put their Christmas shit up in October.
Yeah.
Because there's no
because there's no Halloween here. So they just do it super early. But also they don't do Remembrance Day in New Zealand anyway.
Exactly.
They do Anzac Day, which is a different time of year. So, but this year they're saying buy your Christmas gifts now because all the global shipping's all broken, right? It's like global shipping problems.
Just
so everyone's
buy
gonna
locally.
No, that's true as well. No, you're right about that because by December everything's gonna be sold out. But you're right because when I heard that I was like, oh, whatever. I don't care about that because I'm gonna anyhow, yeah, channel into my friends and family and all. Like I have cards over here, homemade. You know, and we sell them.
Cute.
Yeah, aren't they? And you can look at them. Like. Hallmark sold out. What do I care? Look at that. Elizabeth's World makes the cards.
Well, that's like me with sewing. I'm sewing my friend matching two-piece.
Yep. So if you get a little bit more like it was like in the 1880s,
yeah,
good for us.
Her party is she's described it as just like dress to impress, like that one thing that you never wear it to mine.
Yeah.
And we're all just kind of going 70s.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
So is that tomorrow, the party, the 70s?
It's on Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah.
This haircut's good for that. Now, do you want to do, I didn't wear it crazy though. No, but this has got a good vibe about it.
I like it.
Yeah, I know.
It looks good.
No, at the end of the day, that's why I told you. That's why I told you earlier, we have to spend the time to nail your haircut. And we can't tell them. We used to. We're no longer telling you guys. We're just going to do it. We're just going to do it.
It looks good.
Yeah. It's something you've never had before.
Yeah.
Do you want like a round brush blow dry like it's 1978, or do you want to do like a modern messy texture vibing 70s? Or do you want to do like authentic 70s or vibing 70s?
Are you talking about the styling?
Yeah, for today.
I reckon do the round brush.
Yeah,
today.
Okay, let's do that today. Because we're playing around with ridiculousness.
Exactly.
But your hair, I'm gonna do that, but I'm not gonna like it.
Okay.
But it's just a blow dry anyway. I'm just saying right off the bat. I'm not gonna like. I'm gonna do it, but I'm not gonna like it. But there's a few more things. I'm gonna just do a fishing expedition, and we can wash it out after. And would you like another beer?
It's a light one, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 4%ers. These beers that we drink are DB Expert Golds in New Zealand, which is equivalent in the United States to Miller Lights. The New Zealand equivalent to Miller Lite. So you can drink them and you won't become belligerent. Because I'm a lightweight. I never was, but I'm a lightweight because now I have 2 daughters. So now I'm a lightweight.
Drinking light alcohol is actually really good.
I actually like it.
Because especially when you start drinking more, you just kind of drink it like water.
Yeah,
so
that's
drinking
true.
light's actually really good because it means that you don't have to pace yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
This looks great.
Yeah. That's the sort of haircut where you need a beer. Because it is a 1978 vibing, and they used to just drink beers 90s back then. Cheers, good hair.
So how do you want to style it?
Oh, if we're going to do the round brush. We'll do the round brush technique where there's leave them in there.
Oh yeah.
Have you had that before?
Don't think so.
Cool, we'll do that. We'll make it ridiculous, of course.
Yeah.
And now that this channel's getting older, I'm changing. I was like, oh, we're gonna use mousse and hairspray. And I'm like, yeah. Also, for the people at home watching, this channel is still zero budget, even though this channel's made money. But what happened with that was you need from the IRS a tax number, and I applied for it, and I sent it off, and it got rejected. And the reason why it got rejected was because I failed to tick a box. There's a total of money that's supposed to be paid out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It's just not being paid out.
I get it.
Because I don't have that tax number.
Right.
Right.
So is it the IRS or the IRD?
IRS. No, nothing to do with the IRD because YouTube is an American company.
Right on.
And in order for them to pay you in New Zealand, you have to declare that you're not an American citizen, you're not living in the USA, you're living in New Zealand, and New Zealand has a tax treaty with the United States, and this is how it is, and blah, blah, blah. So all that has to be declared, and then you get paid. Or you get paid, and the IRS is going to take like a bunch of money out of you, and then you have to go and then file for it to get it back, or you can do all this, and you know, it's just... Anyhow. So at this point, this is still a... but I am paying it for, like I said, I am paying it forward because there is a budget. It's just it's not in my pocket. Because the whole point of this channel was to pay it forward. Stand up. You stood up.
It's gonna take you a while to blow dry.
No, it won't. Yeah, you're getting it now. Yeah, you see where we're going with this. And then what you do is you leave it in because it cools and it sets and it makes it intense. I should have blasted you under the hood for a little bit to get most of the moisture out before doing this to save time, but that's okay. And we let that cool. We'll start on the inside now. You've never seen this before, have you?
No.
Yeah, it's fun.
I've been cutting my hair all the same length for like
so long.
My whole life.
Yeah. First time ever putting a layer in anything.
Well, I've had layers before, but I've hated them because it's been like they just kind of go.
Yeah.
And it looks terrible.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how this with you over time, but I think you're gonna keep this over time for a bit. Because it was a good thing for you to do.
This the last one?
Pretty close. But you gotta poach from other areas to keep it going. Now if you have a lot of them, you don't have to poach. You can just leave them all in. Now these are so expensive in New Zealand. Now what happens, every time I fly back to Toronto, I'd buy more and come back here because they're cheaper in Toronto.
Interesting.
And then sometimes I give some away when I get back here. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have given that away. Now I would have had enough to do your whole head without taking them out, had it not been so nice and given some, like, oh, where do you find those brushes? I'm like, well, they're like $40 in New Zealand, like $11 in Canada. You know, so, and they retail in Canada for like $35, but I can buy them from my old supplier in Canada for $11. But I would have had enough to do your whole head without taking them out. Had it not been so nice and give them away to my friends or whatever. At this point, there's no more to give away because I give away too many. I'm just too nice. I'll poach one from down here. But it shouldn't have to be poaching them. They should be all in there. And you're saying before, like, can you get these without where you can take the handles off? Yes, you can. But the advantage of having the handle on is the handles actually lock in with each other. When you take them off, they slip. But these, when you put them in a certain way, you can crisscross them and stuff like that.
I see.
It's heavier on your head, but they stay in better. And also, if it's heavier on your head, that's fine. You just have to suffer for art. We have to let it, because if you put your hand over there, you can feel the radiance coming off of it. What happens when you're doing this is that heat activates, cooling sets.
Yeah.
So if you take it out too soon, it's not set. That's why hot rollers, you put them in the hair.
Yeah.
And then when they're cooled off, you take them out. Now this is the same concept of hot rollers, but it's faster. Same concept, but it's faster. Because you're drying the hair and putting rollers in at the same time, rather than having the hair completely dry and then putting rollers in, which can take hours, right? It's a sped up version of hot rollers. You're doing two things at once. If this was like the mall, back home, because in New Zealand, nobody wants their hair like this in New Zealand, but in Toronto they do. Oh my God, yeah. You know who loves this kind of blow dry in Toronto? Persian people.
Interesting.
Yeah, because they love a little bit longer than this, but layers, and this big. Persian people love that. I call them the Persian princesses. Because they moved to Toronto, they don't have to wear burqas anymore. And they want big hair.
This is just really cool though, because it's like something that costs a lot of money because it takes a long time.
Oh, I think this haircut would be $150 if I was going to charge it.
Exactly.
And I'm going to pay.
But especially like the style as well. Like it's just an opportunity.
Yeah.
That I'm not going to get.
That's the point, and you're not going to repeat. You'll never. Do you see this? Never do this again. And that's the theme on this channel too. Never do this again. Cool. And then we're going to break it up.
Yes.
Because we want to feather it now, like 70s, but that's what combing is going to do now. Oh, and you can also do one of these.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Because this is where it's going to take shape. Now, like I said, with the Persian princesses back home, you wouldn't do this with it. You just left it big. Now I'm doing this with it because you're not a Persian princess.
So, just the way it's sitting on that side is like so 70s politician.
That's what we want, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Or like the weather girl.
Oh, I love it.
1978.
This looks so
the weather girl.
good.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. Yeah. And that length of your fringe was perfect that when you came in, because I didn't cut anything off your fringe. I just framed it to the fringe.
Yeah, it was actually a really
and the
nice
length in the back was perfect. Now, if you want to channel someone older, there's a movie called Trains, Planes, and Automobile.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Now, the girl that works in the National Car Rentals, and she's like, oh, she's much older than you are, but this was her hair. Like big, coiffy, round. But you don't look like her though. You just, this kind of the same concept of hair.
I recently found a beautiful photo of my grandma with her hair styled like this.
That's the best.
It is the best.
Now what happens is you don't brush it anymore. It's just from this point on. Because back in the 70s, these haircuts, you brushed your finger through them constantly all day long. Because it's part in the middle, you did this. It was constant.
Yeah.
Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yeah, like you see the scenes in the movies.
Vinnie Barbarino. Yeah, exactly.
People going into the bathroom before talking to the girl.
Oh my God, they used to go to the toilet all the time because they didn't have to go to the toilet. It was all about the hair and smoking cigarettes.
Oh my
so
God.
fun!
That is so awesome.
That is so fun. Wow. Now you gotta do a weather report.
Yeah. Oh,
Like a British Columbia weather report.
this is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is so satisfying.
Yeah. Let's have a cheers to that. I think what's not gonna happen tonight? We're not gonna make it modern tonight. You're gonna go home like that.
Am I?
Yeah, but
Okay.
we'll sleep on it. Tomorrow's gonna take a different shape. But no, it'll stop some volume in the
Oh,
morning.
you know what's a shame?
Because you have your party tomorrow.
It's in 2 days, but I have to.
Oh.
I'm taking my moped home.
Oh, okay. We can wash it out if you want to.
I mean, it would still hold a little bit.
Yeah, well, a little bit. I would go with it. I would just go with this. You'll get some life back.
This is honestly the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It is so cool.
Yeah. No, that's the whole point of the channel. Yeah. Season 2, episode 1. There you go. Amazing. So we'll do some after shots.
Okay.
That's good enough.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Oh, it's just the best.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna watch it on New Bottom tonight. What time is it anyway? You got an examination tomorrow.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
Unless you want to. No. I think it's cool. Maybe when you go home with the moped and you sleep on it tomorrow morning, you're gonna get like back.
If
at
I
it.
just like throw it up, like
Yeah.